That's a fact. Nobody likes Hollywood. Nobody likes Hollywood. That's a fact.
Hey.
They fucking love me, nigga! They love me! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! You talk about the greatest wake up music in the world. Let's go. Oh yeah! What they got to say? Hey! They are playing my music 2 weeks in a row. Oh yeah! The champ in the building. P.I.'s in the building. Oh, my nigga Memphis is in the building. Look at Harley Media. Woo!
I was really jamming though. That's crazy.
That's a fact.
I was really over here dancing and all that.
Alright, so. Alright, man.
Alright.
You already know what time it is. I'm hyped right now. I gotta catch my fucking breath, because when that shit come on, I be running around like, woo! Hollywood, nigga! And I don't be running around saying I'm the fucking champ like that guy from Philly. But anyway.
You know what?
Anyway.
You know
What's
what?
going on, guys? What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing?
It's actually a pretty nice morning. This week has been ridiculous.
It's fucking no snow outside. It's a beautiful day outside.
Been no snow.
Listen here, nigga. Listen here, man.
I'm just saying, it's been no snow.
The last time you was on the show, my nigga, it was a fucking blizzard, all right?
Actually, last time I was on the show, it was raining.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
It was raining.
Fuck you. Now everybody's a meteorologist. So okay, whatever.
I'm just, okay.
Anyway, all right, you got it. What's going on, everybody? We didn't have your presence here last week, so
okay.
We here, Kali. We missed you guys.
Let's go.
We told everybody you guys were on fucking vacation. You know, because we got vacation now. K-Sleeves is giving us vacation time, guys. We got 401k here at Kali Media. Come get a job. Come get a job, man. Come get a job. We got dental, man. We got dental and vision, man. We about to get some reading glasses and everything, man. So we have a interesting show today, and we're about to push the culture forward. Soon as I get my guest on the line, but until then, it's a lot of Kanye West going on. Kanye West news going on, and T-Wise, you wanted to speak on that, didn't you?
Oh my God!
So let's get right into it.
Oh, I figured it'd just be a good topic to talk about in general because it's a topic unavoidable. And all the artists who have been coming out basically giving critique on Black culture and music in Black culture. Like we just last show we talked about KOD that came from J. Cole. We had Kanye talking crazy, or not crazy, depending.
By the way, T, that album is actually starting to grow on me now.
It is, man. It definitely is.
It's starting to grow. It's starting to grow.
World, man. We apologize, man. We apologize. We apologize here.
Thank you. K-Sleeves, do you hear this apology? Like we could just take this in for the win.
Nah, you know what it was? Once the nigga told us we got vacation time, bro, we really started listening to the album. We listened to the album. We was like, oh shit, this shit is alright. Oh, really? That's what it was. When you a working person, like you're not really listening to that album trying to enjoy it. You listening to trying to get that shit off the fucking radio. But when you got vacation and you can chill and drink a fucking mojito, that album's fire.
I understand. If you were listening trying to turn up, like if that was what your intention was,
that's the fact.
All right, but when you were chilling, you were able to take in the genius. I get it.
Thanks.
And now another thing that came out was actually a song from Childish Gambino called "This Is America."
That was fire.
Absolutely
Fire.
I didn't hear
all
it.
of,
I'm not. I didn't hear that yet.
oh, you.
Yo,
Oh.
I listened to that shit about 40 times already. That shit is
Yeah, I've
fire.
watched the video maybe 6 times, but it's like it's all. And the number one thing I wanted to point out, you notice that everybody's albums is coming out strategically, and
Mm-hmm.
I realized something. Well, I already realized, but I have a confirmation because I was watching the thing with Kanye. I was watching the TMZ. There's 2 deleted scenes from that interview that you have to find them. But they cut it out of the original where Kanye goes to the black guy. I think his name is Genesis. I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
Van. His name's Van. Yeah, Van.
Van.
And he's like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." Like, and
I
Kanye is
seen it.
the type of person that there's no sorries from Kanye. Kanye will say some shit, and that's what it is. Like, he was very sincere,
Mm-hmm.
and he understood how his actions was going to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went to him, he said, "Yo," he had his phone in his hand. He said, "Yo, I just got off the phone with J. Cole because he was asking me too. What do I mean?" That in itself shows that they are talking to each other. They are aware of each other, and that they're this is strategic. This isn't happening coincidentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this before during the J. Cole album when I said, "Yo, if you guys just really watch them and how their album's been coming out and the things they've been saying, you would notice that a lot of this is strategic." I don't know what the bigger plan is though. I'm curious
Mm-hmm.
to see what's going to happen, but for Kanye, I would like to know your opinions on it. I feel
I
like a lot
want
of
to. Yeah. Do you feel he's crazy? Is Kanye crazy to y'all? Because Kanye
I'm gonna
not
go
crazy to me.
last.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
go.
Kanye not. He not crazy to me. He not
He's not
crazy to
crazy
me.
to me either. How about you, Ab?
I don't think he's crazy, but I think some of the statement. First of all, I don't think I don't think he's able to articulate himself in
Yes,
the
I agree with that.
in the way that people can really respond and understand what he's saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yes.
Two, I think that a lot of a lot of the things that he said can be taken out of context.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the slavery statement, which I feel as though was one of the biggest statements that he said that hit everybody. However, what he said, and that's the way he said that slavery statement, you have to be extremely ignorant to say it that way. I'm just going
Yeah.
to keep it
Yeah.
100% real. Like, you have to be extremely ignorant to say it in that tone. With like, to say it like 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, bruh,
Mhm.
that alone, that
Mhm.
lost a lot of people. That lost a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, and let's not get it misconstrued. In life is a choice. If we want to be real, like, everything is a choice. It's broken down into choices. If you ever watched the movie The Matrix, you watched the last one. It was based off of choice. Everything is a choice. Well, not the last one. The second one. The second one was based off choice. So that's life. Life is a choice. But
Go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to finish. Go ahead.
But there is a fine line between choice and and dying circumstance. Like,
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense to y'all? Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
a fine line between you being able to make a choice and you
And
being
living
forced,
with that choice and making that choice and you dying with it. Like,
right,
obviously, right?
and you being forced into a choice.
Right.
It's a big difference. But he was very ignorant with that statement. That was extremely ignorant.
What do you
Mostly,
think, Dizzy?
Okay, now I feel with him saying that statement and it being ignorant, I feel it was supposed to be ignorant because of how the people are responding. Like, he made a statement. He made a statement years ago about this particular topic. You feel me? Like, and he's kind of been consistent with the message. So if you're a Kanye fan, you're not shocked or surprised by the message. It's the same. It's just now he's reaching to a larger scale or whatever. So I didn't really have a problem with what Kanye was saying or whatever. What I did have a problem with though is how he broadcasts the message. Like I don't like when an artist like they have to seclude themselves to look like there's some kind of madman or some shit. Like you don't got to do an interview in a fucking white room with Charlemagne the God for 2 hours just to get your point across. And then while this nigga's asking you questions and shit, you're bringing up what people are thinking, and you know this. This will get me mad about Kanye. He know that people are going, oh well, Kanye's trying to be white, like he's trying to be accepted by white people, and he plays into that shit of by naming white people. But what he's not telling you is he's naming artists. Like he's not like when Charlemagne is asking him about black artists, he's asking him about musicians and shit. Kanye is countering it with actual people who are known for more than just one particular thing in art or of fashion or whatever. But he's not bringing that clear. So he is allowing the ignorant people to have misconceptions with that shit. And I don't like when you have a good message that you allow that with your message too. But that's just me personally with the Kanye shit.
For me, I agree. Like where both of you saying, yes, definitely, 100%. This is where I feel for Kanye. Being understanding, because I don't know if many of you know, but I'm actually a stylist. Like that's what I do. I get paid for that. I'm also a video marketer. I get paid for that as well.
Okay.
So being in fashion, the higher you go, the wider it gets. You cannot avoid it.
Right.
You to get other more opportunities. The people who control the money, the people who control if your brand gets to be accepted as a European brand. Euro just means that you get to sell it for more, right? You have to be in these rooms in the really white places and situations.
Okay.
Right.
So I understand why Kanye would bring up a lot of white people when he's talking about certain things and where he got revelations from, because that's where he's gonna find out how black he truly is. Like imagine getting all this money, finally thinking you're free to create whatever you want, to still be denied access and blocked, right?
Because you're black. Not even that you got money. Because you're black.
Because you're black. That's what I'm saying.
And,
With all this money.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Kanye, what Kanye's mission was, what he was doing, and what a lot of people feel it was dumb that he was doing. Kanye was saying, if I'm rich and this guy is rich, and I'm creating a product, I don't want to start by giving you 30% of my product. If I'm putting my 100%, you need to put in your 100%. So when you see him with these rants saying, I need 500 million from this guy or that guy, he's saying, I got that same shit too. I'm willing to put this much into my shit, what I'm creating. You should put in that much into the product. He's not saying he needs their money. Like a lot of people get that misconception. Like they get that confused because of how he rants.
It's Kanye's fault why people don't understand, because he doesn't know how to express himself like that. Like, and this is one thing I've noticed through Kanye's career, and this is why him and Jay-Z always would get into issues. Kanye only knows how to feel in the time. He just knows how to feel in the time. Like even in his college albums, it's apparent where Kanye don't know how to reflect on his actions until after he does it. He gets a reaction for what he did, and he's forced to reflect, and then he'll come, with a different outlook. But Kanye is not good with foresight. He just knows how to. He's that person who has to feel that the iron is hot for him to know it's hot. Then he knows the lesson, and he'll move to another thing. And that's what drives me crazy. He has a great message. He has a great thing, because I don't want to get too far from the whole slavery thing, because that's the big thing that everyone is on. But when it comes, I hate the fact that the media also took it to boil it down to that statement. Kanye thinks that slavery was a choice. Like, that was the thumbnail to put and run with it, right?
Because, but that's a big part of that is because I mean, what black person would really say 400 years of slavery was a choice?
Every black person. But you just look at the situation. Like every black person who's been in power probably would have said something to that extreme.
Yes.
When
you make a little statement like that, it voids the context that where it came in from, right?
True.
And it's a marketing trick. It's clickbait. It's clickbait.
Right.
What it is.
Right. But who really gets mad at this? I want to know, like, who really gets mad at this? About this, like when you ask this question, was slavery an option or was it a choice? Like these,
but
you bring up this topic.
Hold on. You see what you just said there? The way that Kanye could have posed this was posing it as a question. Like,
right.
You know, wouldn't you think that maybe slavery was a choice? Like he didn't know how. He just said, "Oh, it sounds like it was a choice."
You know what I mean?
And when he says it, he says it.
I think I see why he said that though, because it's in history.
He says it in a question. Like, doesn't that sound like a choice?
But it's a question that through history. But it's a question throughout history. If you really pay attention to it, we're still trying to answer it. So it's not really a bad question.
It's not a bad question. But it's the horrible question.
I don't think it's a horrible question, bro. Because if it's a horrible question, how come we have answers for it? We have enough.
It's a bad question. I think
right,
it's
we have.
But look, let me talk. My issue is that they tried to pose such a complex question in a compact selling. That's my problem. Some things deserve context, and a 30-minute BuzzFeed is not enough to cover that kind of subject.
Right. Can I explain something?
A 3-minute clip is not where you want to divulge that kind of question.
Can I explain something about that question really quick?
Yeah, sure. But let me just say this real quick. That's the question with Kanye, I believe, is genius and a question that it needs to be said because I feel like us as black people, I don't even black people, us as humans have this thing about accountability. And I really need to be able to say this fully before I let anyone continue because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea.
Okay.
I'm not saying that black people should be taking accountability for slavery. No. But the question forces us to look at ourselves. I'm like, okay, if we do humor the idea that we chose slavery, as in we chose to submit, right, as a way of survival, not because we wanted to, not because that was the right option, but that we were faced with a couple of them. You either submit and survive, or you fight back, but you take on a huge chance of death, of huge loss. They both came with pros and cons. These were the choices that were given. Fight back and possibly die. Submit, but still maybe die or be maimed for however long, right? And if you choose to submit, you buy time. If you choose to fight back, you may be free at that very moment or you may die, right? They're not fun choices. They're not easy choices to make, but there are choices.
Okay.
If you think about it that way, and if we chose to submit, and we still have been choosing to submit for all these years, because that's what he goes
made a bad choice.
That's what he says. I don't like to just say slavery, but slavery of the mind. He's saying that
that's a bad choice.
Yes, but I don't want to say anything is in bad and wrong because that's all subjective. Life is just a whole bunch of choices. It's not right or wrong. It's just things you choose. We moralize whether something was right or wrong because it comes down to the best life is a life of choices you can live with and accept that you've done this and you could live with that. You are comfortable with the choices you've made.
Okay. Now, what about if a person to interject to what you just said? What about a person who's facing suicide? You just said a life is about the choices. Say that one more time, because I don't want to misquote what you just said.
A
You just said
life,
something real. Yeah, life is.
life is just a sequence of choices. It's not
Right.
about right or wrong.
Now, what would you
Thing that
tell? Now, how would you say that to a suicidal person who feels that life has been giving them the wrong choices, so they would rather not live it? And go
okay,
ahead, I'm listening.
to that I would have to say again, because right or wrong is to a person's moral standard, right?
Mhm.
If a suicide person feels that way because they feel like life gave them a whole bunch of wrong choices, that's where I say that person's not taking accountability for themselves,
Okay.
because life doesn't just do shit to you. You
Can
are
Now, now,
choosing
now, now, now,
things and you
it's
make
interesting
choices.
you
can I
because
can I please
go ahead,
go?
go ahead, go ahead.
Can I please go in? Because this is crazy to me. All right. So
Like,
one, I feel that there's a serious problem with the. Well, let me first say this. I want to applaud Kanye for at least bringing this to light, because if you remember, we was never talking about this before he even
we
said anything.
weren't.
But like
Absolutely right, Ab.
I like that, I would definitely appreciate. I want to show appreciation to the fact that this is like one of the biggest topics. This was on ESPN First Take what he said. So
Mhm,
I so like that's big in itself. Now,
mhm.
when we talk about choice, and if slavery was a choice, let's keep in mind the question that he asked when he said 400 years, that sounds like a choice. He also meant in the physical form as well, not just mental. Now, I agree that we all are mental slaves, but we are not all mental slaves, just black people. That's people in general
Yep.
are mental slaves.
All over the world.
Because if you look at it, we are all mental slaves when it comes to prioritizing. If we really want to be honest, we will buy sneakers before we pay rent. That's some people.
Mhm.
Some people will rather get a car than get a crib. They will have a brand name all in their closet, but at the same time they live with their mom. That's being a slave in that sense. Now, the problem that I have is that we look at things in the sense of today, right? We're thinking about it as, well, if this was me today and I was back then, I wouldn't be going for that, bro.
Nah, you can't say that. You don't know what the fuck you do.
Exactly.
You don't know
Exactly.
what the fuck you do.
Exactly. And in the best way to really put this in the great
I
perspective.
don't like that argument, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why you're gonna love that argument, because I'm
listening.
gonna bring a factual stat into this, right? Modern day slavery is prison, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Correct.
And other things.
And
Along with
many other
But
things. Institutions.
when we talk about physical and mental enslavement, we think
It's
of
other
prison.
it's other things. College loans is slavery.
Mhm.
Kind of.
No, it's not kind of. It is. Working a 9 to 5 is slavery.
Yes.
Working
But
working a nine is
Working a
many
9 to
forms
5.
of it.
But you
It's
gotta
slavery.
understand. You gotta understand something. You have a choice whether or not you go to college or not. You have a choice as to whether or not you can start your own business. You see what I'm
Hold
saying?
Yeah,
up.
and
Now,
just because you have a
Hold on.
you're stating that because
Hold on.
you know what the consequences are if you don't do that.
Hold
You
on.
don't
no,
necessarily.
no.
I really want to pause right there for a second.
What's up?
There's a bigger institution, just that, and this is where I'm gonna say, and some of y'all maybe are not gonna say what I'm saying, but I'm still gonna say it.
That's a fact.
And that comes to capitalism. We are a capitalistic state, right? And the whole point of capitalism is to turn everything into product and production,
That's a
not
fact.
just only tangible things, but intangible things like your feelings. There's an app for you to feel like that's the whole. Okay, can I just say something? Think about capitalism as two big giant eyes, right?
Mhm.
When the eyes are closed, everything has context. A woman could be your mother, your sister, your daughter.
Mhm.
The trees are your ecosystem, your ear. They give you fruit, right? When capitalism's eyeballs open, that woman, right? Now all that context is gone. It's how do we produce her. So this woman we can sell her, like literally sell her into like sex escapades. We can sell her products. Tell her she's not pretty. Tell her she's not beautiful. Tell and sell her products to fit a standard that is completely ridiculous. We can make money off of that. Or we can go to make her a third world situation, because third world women are slaves, and people don't realize that all these businesses, all this outsourcing you're hearing, they're going to other countries to have them do jobs. You think 9 to 5 sucks? Imagine for pennies working 17-hour shifts. All of them women are in those shops.
But that's
you could use that as a source of production.
yeah,
Or
but
that's slavery.
that's not. But we can't. There's a big difference between business and slavery. Like,
what, you think so?
Definitely. I definitely feel as though there's a big difference between business and slavery.
Really?
Because
so if a business is making the profit, right? So you're paying people pennies, right? So you're doing work for crazy hours. You're chaining them to their office places. They can't even pee. You're making how much profit? How much profit in a day? So let's say the business is making, and I'm totally lowballing it, but just for us to understand, let's say the business made $4,000 in a day. All those people working there, and mind you, in one factory, there's probably like 150 women crammed in one space, and for that day altogether, they made $32 as a unit. The whole business made $4,000. A unit of 130 people walked away that day with 32. That's not slavery?
I'm gonna tell you why that's not slavery. You ready? You ready? Because you cannot work there and you can find another job. In slavery, you have to be there or you die.
But they have to be there. In
no,
the
you don't.
Country, those places took up all the jobs that the people who were working there were doing. Like, there's no business to business anymore because all the big factories are taking away local business. Now they all have to work there.
Are we talking in a third world country, or are we talking in America?
America are the ones who are putting the corporations there.
No, but
it has to do with America too. That's what capitalism is. You turn everything into production. Everything, right. People, items, feelings. They're all to be produced. And I'm saying, do you think slavery is just for little things?
Yeah,
the slavery is coming from the way we're thinking. This is why people would choose choose shoes over their rent, because everything is pitching for you to buy everything.
But there's a fine line between physical torment, torture, and enslavement.
You don't think being chained to a sewing machine for 18 to 19 hours a day isn't torture?
I think that it's way different. That's a completely and total different comparison from being chained to a sewing machine to watching your child get hung from a rope. It's totally different from watching.
Dude, they have to bring their children with them, and a lot of times the children are sitting there for those hours next to the mothers. I will show you pictures next time I see you in person. You tell me if that don't look like slavery.
I'm not saying that it doesn't look like slavery, or if it does. What I
want to ask the question, because y'all been going back and forth for about like 10 minutes. Is not modernized mental slavery not the same thing from oppression that they was doing 400 years ago?
It's the same.
If you're programming someone, you don't understand. Like, when a kid is born, I don't know if you have a kid, but let's say anybody having a kid today. Your kid is born today. Your kid is your kid eventually is gonna you're gonna program your kid to go to school, to have a job. Then you want the best for your child. You want your child to either go to college, have a great job, and that child is not being born into some type of wealth from your position as of today. Listen, can I just finish, bro? I just want to finish, because you're telling children at a certain age, when they start going to school from the ages 3, 4 to about the age of 20, whatever, that you can be whatever you want to be. A child goes to school, right? They start learning these other uh, uh, curriculums and shit that they don't give a fuck about if that's not what they want to pursue in life. They start getting older. They start getting their wings out. All right, cool. I got to get a job or whatever to maintain some type of livelihood of whatever. You're programming children to be slaves. You're telling your kid from the moment they start going to school, look, you have to go to school, young man. You have to get a job, young man. You have to get your own place, young man. You're gonna be out on your own one day, young man. Like that's
I just want to say one thing.
Y'all is bugging right now.
Okay,
oh my God! Like, this
bro.
is crazy.
What? Okay. So you said you got a kid. Wait. Fuck all that. You said you got a kid. Listen, bro. You said you got a kid, right, my nigga? When your kid get a certain age, is your kid ever going to have its own responsibility for bills and shit like that? Are you planning on taking care? Are you going to take care of your kid for the rest of for your kid's life?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so your kid eventually is going to have to follow through the programming of some type of system that they've been slaving us from back then. What do you mean?
Can I ask both of y'all a question? Can I ask both of y'all?
If I can ask you one question, you can ask us both one. I just want to ask one question.
What's up?
Is racism still here today?
Absolutely.
Of course. And that's not even a racist. That's not even a race question I asked.
This has nothing to do with that.
It's not even race that I'm talking about. This is just programming.
I want to hear this question.
I'm not equating the two. I'm just saying.
I know this is leading to another question, so I want to hear this question. So
if we can say that racism is here today and racism was back there today, of course the racism looked different. Mm-hmm. The racism back then and the racism now look different, but it's here, right? Mm-hmm. Why can't we say the same type of slavery is modern day slavery?
Hold on. Go ahead.
Obviously, the slavery don't look the same back then.
It's not, and that was to go to my point. Wait. I'm sorry. I have to cut you off. I'm sorry. I have to cut you off. I'm sorry because y'all been cutting me off.
I'm just
sorry. Listen. This goes back to what I was saying. Y'all asked the question about a topic, right? Y'all asking about modern day slavery, and then you said the slavery would be different if you would say you had the mindset now. It would. I wouldn't be a slave back then.
I didn't say that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. You're not letting me finish. I'm not talking to you. Please let me finish. Please. 1 second. Please. 1 second. 1 second. I'm just going back from what I'm listening. I'm listening to y'all for 10 minutes. I'm watching. I ain't even saying nothing. I wanted y'all to go back and forth.
I want you to go. I want you to go, but I'm telling you right now, our ancestors is turning in their graves right now. Continue. Please continue.
You saying that they should be turning up because we doing the same thing. We allowing the same type of shit.
No, the reason why, and this is the problem.
Okay.
This is the biggest problem, right? One, we cannot keep saying that business is the same as slavery because white people go through the same shit that we do. They work 9 to 5. Yes. Listen, we can't be subjective to certain things. Like, all right, a white person has the same jobs, the same opportunities as we do. Only thing is they get pushed more forward because they have white privilege, right? Now,
how does that mean they have the same opportunities you do if they have white privilege? How is that even the same?
Legacy.
No, how is that the same?
Why do you think that's the same place?
The reason why that's the same is only because that means that they're just going to get pushed forward more. Now that's racism. There's a difference between racism and then slavery. Now we talk prison, that's modern day slavery. Business, you can't compare the two because at the end of the day, I can start my own business and then charge people and then pay whatever person I want to. I can pay a white person pennies. I can pay a black person pennies. I can pay anybody pennies. And that's not going to be slavery. That's me running my business the way I want to run my business. And if they don't want to deal with that shit, they can leave. That's it.
If you outsource in another country where you are the only option, and this is the thing, you don't even understand the way patents work out in other countries. Right now,
we talking about other...
right now, business people who thinking like you go to other countries and they use things like, oh, we're gonna make you use these seeds that you have to buy from us, right? But we're not going to tell you that these seeds actually go into, like, when they sprout, they go into neighboring lands. They don't tell you that though, right? And then they
Now,
take lands from the people, and it's written all in papers that they didn't even have this communication with the people who live in those countries. And now all of a sudden they have rights to their land. That's how that type
but
way of
but
thinking
but this
works.
but this
And
is the
then you're
problem.
saying that they had a choice, though? They
But
had a
this is the
choice? They
this is
didn't
the
have a choice.
but this
And
is
you
the
never
problem.
intended to give them a choice.
But this
But
is
you're
the problem.
saying that
This
that's
the
not
problem.
slavery.
This is the problem with that statement. This is the problem with that statement. Kanye's statement is specific on black people in America, not third world countries. Let's keep it
He
clean.
said this is not, no, actually, if you look at TMZ interview, he said this goes bigger than just the black community. This is about the world.
But
The
the
plan is
world
bigger.
didn't go through
That's what he
400
said.
years of slavery.
That's what he said, though.
But the world didn't go through 400 years of slavery.
But
We
you're
did.
saying, Kanye saying it's just, I'm just telling you, that's not what he said.
But then that's a contradiction to a statement. You can't say this is bigger than just black people.
But it is bigger than just black. You just said before
it's really not though when you want to break it down, because at the end of the day, this is what black people do. We constantly keep putting everyone else and putting everyone else's problems in front of our own instead of focusing on black people issues. That's the biggest thing.
By strength, like if you he's thinking about Kanye is a global name, globally,
right?
But not many artists reach global, right?
I understand that. I understand that
so
globally.
Why would he only use his platform to only help only one section? Mind you, black people are everywhere around the world, everywhere around the world. This fight against oppression is happening globally.
But at the end of the,
me and you,
but at the end of the day,
not only focusing in African Americans, but he's doing it tangibly all around is wrong. He's not. I'm gonna tell you
exactly why that's wrong. Because if you look through history, especially black people history, our ancestors pushed for that message, for that narrative, for us to help us in a section. It wasn't like, if you look back at Martin Luther King, let's keep it all the way clean. He was all for segregation at one point. Malcolm X was all for segregation at one point. If you look at Black Wall Street, all for segregation at one point. And we all help our sections. So it doesn't, so all that, let's help the world first and then let's focus on our problems. That's bullshit. That is straight bullshit. We should help each other first. And then once our problems are dealt with, then we should move on to other issues. But you can't help another family if your family ain't right first. That don't make sense.
But have you noticed he brought the argument here, like this argument, because obviously that's why he posted with Trump. So it's a focus. The argument that started here in America, he started it here. All he's saying is that the plan goes bigger. He didn't say he's not going to start here and go out. All he said is the plan goes bigger.
But his message. All I was saying is his message in the plan was also to love others, right? To love everyone. Let's love everyone first. But I'm not gonna love. Listen, we've already known it through history. You're not supposed to love your oppressor like that. Like that's just crazy.
Like you're not and I'm not gonna fight you on that. Like this wasn't even because again, the whole thing was we were asking, is Kanye crazy or not? This is more now going on how we feel like things should be handled when it comes to helping the Black community. My conversation was, because I don't even know how we got to that part. All I wanted to say was I do not think he's crazy. I do feel like he's sloppy the way that he phrased his sentence, because that's insane. You can't say something like that and just walk away from it.
Right.
I am upset that he did it on TMZ, because why them?
We got to get off this Kanye subject, man. We got to guess, man. We got to guess. We got to get off this Kanye subject, man.
Like you didn't say.
Yeah, I'll guess his head. I'll guess his head.
Hey,
so
before we,
this is an interesting topic. This is an interesting topic, man.
Before we get off, I just want to say one thing, because I wanted to get this point across from the beginning. In modern day slavery, which is prison, 98% of all convicts or of all felons are convicted. in the federal system, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we look back at this, you can clearly see that there are a lot of people, and this is all like 90, I think about 96% cooperate. So this is telling me that 96% of the people that are incarcerated would fold. That means to me, in modern day, and if this is modern day slavery, I'm saying in my mind that back then, if we were back then, 96% of the people back then would fold as well.
Probably.
So
there's no wrong or right answer.
So to say that it's a choice, I'm like, bro, that's like saying staying in prison is a choice. Like you can leave, but you're gonna die trying.
But that's still but that's where we get to the thing. Yeah, that's debating on was it a right choice or wrong choice. And once you start thinking like that, then obviously but if you just recognize that a choice is a choice, not saying it's the best choice or the more optimal choice, it's just a choice is a choice. If you recognize that, then you also have a choice to not choose to stay.
That's
if
true.
You think of that's the point I was trying to get to. If you think about that, it was a choice, not whether it was a right or wrong, but that it was a choice. That means that today we still have the choice to choose plan B.
Right.
It's still there. It's still an option.
Right.
That's why it's important to think that way. Because if you think that the first way you're going, oh, well, if we were back then, we would have done this and that, then you're never going to come to the epiphany that we can just choose to stop doing A. Because even today, we still talk about, oh, well, we shouldn't be building this because all the white people are just going to bomb us, or white people are going to stop us from doing this, and then we just don't do it. But if you think about it as a choice, and it's like, no, fuck that. You don't control my every move, my every breath, my everything. And even if you do try to fuck with me and up police and hurt me and harm me, we're going to figure out something else because I'm choosing option B.
Right.
And if I get harmed in the matter, then that's what it is. But I'm not choosing option A anymore because I'm tired of doing this shit for this many years.
Okay.
That's the importance of thinking about it as an option, because that means you also have the option to say fuck this today, now.
Right.
That's the importance of thinking of it that way. But everybody keeps getting caught up with trying to figure out if it was right or wrong, or what would you do back then, and then you get caught up in feelings and you lose the fucking point.
Right. I agree with that.
Everybody always want to be right or wrong. Sometimes it's just not about that. It's just a sequence of options, a sequence of events, and you choose what happens to you. That's how you keep yourself from being a victim. Because if you'll put yourself in a victim mind, somebody puts you in a fucked up situation, it was fucked up. And of course, whatever happened to you, like, it's wrong. Like it hurt, it's hurtful. But if you trap your mind like that, you will never get out of your situations. That's when you end up in that woe is me situation. Everything bad happens to me. I can't control my life. Because you can't control your thoughts. Lives and options, things happen to you. Things are choices. And if you can choose to submit, you can also choose to fight back, no matter what the consequences may be, because consequences are coming no matter what choices you choose.
Right.
They're both dirty sneakers. Pick which sneaker you want to eat. Fuck.
TY just went off just now, just for the record. She just black just now. So, I mean, we got a special guest. Is my special guest on the line? If you on the line, say what's up, bro. All I need to say what's up, bro.
What's up?
So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're about to do something wild, controversial right now. Yo, I got right now my nigga Cali motherfucking M in the building. Now, if y'all not familiar with who Cali M is, Battle Twerk. He's battled on C Battle League. Give me some more Battle Leagues. You just battled Mo Moolah on Love Day. A lot of people don't know that. Just battle Mo Moolah on Love Day. I'm throwing that out there. It happened. Talk to us, Cali. Talk to us about you and why you are controversial. Because I don't know if I could just come out and say it, but I want you to actually come out and talk your truth right now, bro.
All right. Well, I'm a battle rapper that so happens to be gay. Well, I'm not a gay battle rapper, but I'm just a battle rapper. But I'm just so happens to be gay. So I'm not gonna say I'm a gay rapper, but I'm a rapper.
you rap,
Yeah.
and it just so happens that you have a different sexual preference, and
Right.
you're a male.
Right.
So with all that just stacked against you, do you feel like it's a lot of pressure for someone as yourself to be in such a first off, it's a male dominant sport, and it's an
Mm-hmm.
aggressive sport that doesn't look, it doesn't cater to your sexual preference. I think that's
Exactly.
the nice way I can say that. So
Right.
how is that? How is that when you just want to rap?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of pressure because it's like you have to be that. It's not that, well, not that you have to be, but like once I put myself out there as an openly gay rapper, it's like you have to be that voice for the people who want to rap, but they scared to go the distance that I did. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a lot of pressure, but I do have a lot of shit on my back, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to be known as a gay rap, like just a gay rapper. Like they make it sound like, oh, this is your niche, like this is your gimmick, and I'm like, nah, I rap, like I really rap, and I rap very well. I write very well. I don't need
What
to.
got you into battle rapping?
Okay, so my older brother, he was a rapper or whatever. He used to watch Smack DVDs a long time ago, like when back then. But
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, I started to get into it myself. The first battle I seen was who was it? Was it Hustle and E Heart? That was the first battle I seen,
Mm-hmm.
and from there I was just like, oh, this shit is fire. Like, so I started doing like research on the channel, like on URL. So
Mm-hmm.
Hitman, Holla, K-Shine, DNA. I saw like those battles and stuff like that. I started to like get into it a lot more, and it caught my interest because it's not like the stuff that you hear on the radio. It was creativity. Like people was really like taking subjects and breaking it down into punchlines and making references and shit like that. So it was really, really interesting to see them rap like that. And I just wanted to give it a try. So I was in the Facebook group OTF, and they was
Mm-hmm.
doing like these online battles,
Right.
and they had set me up with somebody, and it ended up not happening. So I had reached out to, who was the Mulatto Black. I reached out to Mulatto Black. She was doing Trap House New Jersey at the time.
Shout out
Right.
Mulatto Black. Shout out
Yeah.
Mulatto.
Fact.
Yeah,
Fact.
so she gave me like she basically gave me my start like with battle rap. I hit her up and I was like, yo, I was supposed to do this battle online. It didn't happen, so I think it'll be dope if we do it in person. Like it was basically like giving OTF a look kinda in a way, because it was like we doing our first live battle or whatever.
Is this when you battled Ty White?
No, I never battled Ty White. This is when I battled Crane McBain. This was in
Okay, Crane.
2015. No, this was the end of 2014 going into 2015. And it was a lot of people there. Like it was like Bill Collector was there, Big Cannon. Yeah, it was a bunch of Jersey artists also. So
you performed in a room full of some of our favorite battle rappers. How did they receive you when they seen you perform?
I'm not gonna lie. So like, just like similar to Love Day, like
Mm-hmm.
when I first came out, it caught them off guard. Like some was
Right.
confused, some laughed a little bit, but then when I performed and I did the bars, they was like, oh shit, like this nigga can rap, like like that. So even afterwards, like Bill Collector came up to me and he was like, yo, you really fire. Like Big Cannon also, you really, really, really fire. Like they was like, oh, this nigga can rap. So, I mean, that's how it started basically. That's just the start of my battle rap career, I guess you could say.
And then you end up battling one of the rising stars in battle rap. You battle New Jersey Twerk.
Fact.
How was that? Like you battled Twerk before niggas who been rapping forever that can't battle that nigga. You got to battle him on your own platform. Like, talk to us about that.
Okay, so me and Ty White, we was shooting our promo, our trailer for like a 2-on-2. We was with we was with Do, Hurricane Do from Rap Grid, and she was like shooting our trailer for the event because we was getting ready to battle Fendi and Torture from Queen of the Ring. We Go Hard, and New Jersey Twerk ended up meeting up with Hurricane Do while we was out there. We was on 42nd Street, and we ended up going to BBQs. And he came to the table and he was just, you know, he shook our hands and shit like that. So this is my first time meeting him in person, and I was already like one of his biggest he's one of my biggest motivations, like inspirations when I'm writing. So it was real cool to see him or whatever. And when he came up to me, he was like, "Oh, what up?" You know. And then we was talking about the battle, like the event and stuff like that. So he pointed at me, he was like, "You battle?" And I was like, "Yeah." And right there at the table, he was like, "What's your battle rap name?" And I told him, and he went on his phone immediately and started like watching one of my battles. And he was really listening to the bars. So I didn't think that he was like, I didn't know what he was doing on his phone, but we was just talking about the event. And he was like, "Oh, you fire like that." And I was like, "Oh, you watching it?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "I smoke you though." I'm like, "Oh my God, here we go." So then we started going back and forth, just playing, you know, just chatting. Then
battle rap talk, and then you battle.
Yeah, so
fire, man. That's fire.
What people didn't know was I was originally booked to battle C3 for that card, and C3 was going through like personal problems and shit like that. So he was kind of like the backup, but I'm happy that he was pushed to the forefront to give me that look, because like now that I battled him, like I'm getting a lot of there's a lot of things I can't speak on right now. Right. But I'm getting a lot of looks and I'm getting a lot of love, and a lot of people are reaching out to me also. Like, granted, like a lot of people feel like I got killed in a battle, which is fine because, you know, I take critique. If I could dish out critique, I could take critique, and that's fine. Like, if you feel like I got killed, cool. But the win was battling him for me. I felt like I won just by battling him, and I feel like all these opportunities that I'm getting right now, like, for example, I got booked for We Go Hard in September, and I got booked for something else, so I can't really speak on it as of right now, but it'll come out soon. But also for We Go Hard in September, so that kind of like, you know, it really, really did push me.
Now, seeing that you got to battle Twerk, you about to battle on We Go Hard, you were featured in the Farrah Funeral battle against Mo Moolah, like, do you feel it's room for your particular skill set to just be over it? Like, do you feel like you can push with your skill set, so people just don't even recognize that you're gay? That just like, yo, that's Cali M the rapper.
Facts. I really believe. I'm a stern believer in that, and I feel like a lot of people, like, if you look in the comments of me and Twerk, right? Like, and I know that they say don't look at the comments of your battles because they'll make you mad, but I really like reading them. But for the most part, it was a lot of negative things to say, which is fine also. And it was on some shit where some people was like, "Nah, that nigga had bars." Like, that nigga was talking. Like, so it made up like half and half. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm holding a gun to your head and saying, "Oh, hey, I'm a gay rapper, you're gonna watch me, you're gonna like it." No. If you don't want to watch it, or if you feel uncomfortable watching me, you don't have to watch me. Like, I'm not pushing myself to make nobody do what they don't want to do. Like, everybody's grown here, but you watching it and then you taking your time out to like leave a comment or leave something nasty or just say something like, "Oh, I can't fuck with this. Get this faggot out of it." Like, you know, like, if you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Like, simple as that. I don't want the people to think that, you know, like, I'm pushing myself onto y'all. Like, that's not what it is. I've even half of these leagues, I didn't even make it a goal for me to touch, and that was because I already knew what I was getting myself into pushing into battle rap. I already knew the heckling was coming. I already knew that the hate was coming. I noticed already. And now that I'm
now knowing that you knew that, like, you had a choice. Actually, you could have said that you were just a rapper and you're not gay, and just let people assume it. But you just came out and was like, "All right, I'm gay and I battle rap." Like you took that shit head on. Do you feel like it's a whole room for more gay rappers to be just as brave as you to just to rap? Like, is there room for them to just come in and rap?
Yeah, it is. Honestly speaking, it really, and it is a lot of is a lot. Like, it's a lot of us. Like, Prison Battle League is a bunch of us, and a lot of us can hang. I'm not saying that a lot of us is ready for like the URL top tiers, or they ready for like a twerk or anything like that. I probably don't feel like I'm ready for. I was ready for a twerk, which is cool too. But
You better than a lot of people, though. I'm not gonna hold you short, bro. You better than a lot of motherfucking people. A lot of people are trash.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
You go first.
I want to ask a question. So you essentially was the one who came out and said, like, you know, I'm a gay battle rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and this wasn't like, and you saying that this wasn't a gimmick, like you just want to just put it out there. Now, do you feel as though with you doing that is more pressure on you, or more pressure on the battler that you're battling? I want to get that. I want to get your answer to that because I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
That's a good question.
That is a good question, actually. I do feel like it could be a lot of pressure on both of us. A lot of people, they wouldn't want to battle me because they think that because I'm a gay rapper, I'm going to talk about gay subjects, or I'm going to try to make them uncomfortable, which is the goal. Which is the goal of battle rap, is to, when you're battling your opponent, you have to make them as uncomfortable as possible, bringing up their past, bringing up everything. So, but to answer your question, I feel like it's more pressure on me because now I have to work 100 times harder now, because now it's like, you got to be nice now. You have to be, if you want to make it, you have to be nice. Niggas, they already don't like you already once you open your mouth. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you know, it's crazy. I actually predicted that you would say it would be you that would have more pressure. The reason why I predicted that was because I don't think that you would probably think of the fact that if someone was to lose to you, their battle rap career would probably be over, like completely, completely. Like they, like the notion that, yo, you just lost to a gay battle rapper, like nobody wants to talk to you anymore. So, like, so you feel as though you have more pressure than that, because if you lose, it's kind of like you're expected.
Right.
But if you win, like, their shit is over for life.
I agree.
Completely. So that was my main point to that. Like, that's.
Wait, what about if that battle was good though? What about if the battle was good?
I mean, regardless if the battle was good, like and this is no offense to him, but like he's kind of in a win-win situation. Like if he loses, right, then he was expected to lose. Like him battling Twerk, no one expected him to win. So if he loses, he just lost. But he battled Twerk. If he wins, right, then Twerk would then be looked at as like, yo, you lost to this nigga? Oh my God. Like,
I don't think, what about, because people would just go, because people now, they do he didn't take him serious. And then that's an excuse of saying, I didn't take him serious because he's gay. You can counter that. You can counter that.
But in a battle rap, like, it's battle rap.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I battled a gay dude. My nigga, and when you battle gay people, you're not thinking about losing when you in that situation. Like, you want to come in there to nigga, you trying to kick them niggas ass, bro. You trying to kick them niggas ass. Like, you not sitting there preparing, like, well, what happens if I lose? No. That's not your mindset. Like,
so when you do, I'm pretty sure that takes somebody like a bag. Like, no one plans to lose, but eventually someone.
I've seen niggas lose to girls. So what's the difference between losing to a gay guy and a girl in a battle?
I don't think
because niggas lose to girls.
I don't think there shouldn't be a difference. I don't think there should be a difference, but we know this culture.
Yeah, it is a difference. Culture. But I look at it that way. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I think there shouldn't be a difference at all. Skill is skill, but this culture.
Yeah, like this. That was my main thing. Like, hey.
But I hope that he'd be the change in that. I hope he can change the way that type of stuff is talked about. So I'm really glad that he's even here.
Like with him already being good, once he gets better, like the sky is going to be the limit, because because the minute he continuously keeps beating people, like in battles, it's going to he's going to really be killing careers. Literally. Like, that's what's going to happen.
But then if let's say he beats a whole bunch of people, eventually you can't look down like, well, you lost too. So eventually it'll have to even out and be like, you know what? You lost because he was just better, not because being gay. Maybe the first guy is going to hurt. But after
Exactly.
people,
I don't know if you could kill somebody's career just because you lost to somebody gay. I think that's an outrageous statement to say.
I'm gonna be honest. I done seen niggas' careers get killed off of losing. Like, we gonna be all the way real. I done seen
to
that
losing
too.
who? Like, what you said to losing who?
To a white dude. I done seen niggas' careers get killed off of that too. Like, if a nigga lost to a white dude, I done seen niggas' careers go way down.
But you know what? Can we talk about that next week? Can we talk about that next week? As far as like, yeah, but and you are absolutely right. But we running out of time and shit, and I want to talk about that next week.
We ran out of
the
time.
the biasness of if a gay person, a girl, a white, like whatever, like if you lose to these people, why is it judged differently? Let's talk about that next week, man.
I think that would be a great conversation to have.
Facts.
Yo, we appreciate you, Cali, man.
Definitely
appreciate you, Cali. Salute, man. We had a lot of time for you, but you know, should be getting crazy on the motherfucking Hollywood in the morning, man. So we out of here. The champ, Ab Ease, T Wise, Hollywood.
Rogue.
We out of here, man.
Rogue shit.